The model had another great night. On Friday, May 9th, the model went 4-0. When I say 4-0, what that means is it predicted the spread and the total for both of these games. You got both of them correct. That's based on the data and the lines that were available when I made that video. That was on Friday morning. I'm going to do the same thing here for Saturday, May 10th. What's up, everybody? This is Kerry. In this video, I'm going to give you my playoff predictions for Saturday, May 10th. The first game at 3:30 p.m. Eastern are the Knicks at home against the Celtics. A big rivalry here. And we know what's going on in this series. The Celtics cannot make a shot. They're doing terrible from the three-point range. Let's take a look at these numbers here. The offensive rating and the defensive rating for the Celtics on the road are number 2 each. Number 2 in the entire league. That means they have a great offense on the road and have a great defense on the road. So I'm not going to look at the last 2 games. I think the Celtics are dead in the water here. In fact, I think they're very live to win this one in the Garden. My model has the Celtics winning 108-105 for a 213 total, a negative 2.8 point spread for the Celtics, and a 61% chance to win this game. Now, before I show you the FanDuel line, let's talk a little bit about the Celtics shooting woes from three-point range. I basically put the load on these 3 guys here. These are the 3 court leaders, the 3 starters, the ones that take the most three-point shots. Look at the game 1 there. They were collectively 10 for 41 for 24% from three-pointers. And in game 2, not much better. They're 6 for 23 for 26%. Overall, these 3 players were 16 for 64 for 25% for the first 2 games. These 3 definitely carry the weight for the three-point shooting woes that we've seen in the first 2 games for the Celtics. But when we look at the data and the stats for the offensive rating and defensive rating, that's what we use to make our predictions. We have to take into account regression to the mean. That means when a team or a player is performing higher than average, eventually they're going to come back down to earth. But it also means when a team or a player is underperforming, they tend to rise back up. So that's why I think it's going to happen in this game. Now, this is just my personal opinion here. When you look at the data, that's one thing. But when we look at these players, Tatum and Brown are all-stars, and White's actually traditionally a very good three-point shooter. So I think that 1 or 2 of these players are actually going to rise up and get better in this game on the road against the Knicks. Personally, I think that Tatum's going to have a better game, and White as well. I'm not so sure about Brown here in the middle. His 18% is really low. In any case, my model thinks the Celtics are going to win 108-105. On FanDuel, the Celtics are favored by 5.5 points. I actually think that's going to be a good bet there, so that's my first bet. I know I'm actually going against the model here, and the model just went 4-0 on Friday. But I do think the Celtics are going to improve and do better on the road than they performed in the first 2 games at home. The total here is 206, so my model thinks this is going to go over, but I'm not going to make that bet. I'm going to go with the Celtics minus 5.5. For the second game at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the Timberwolves on the road against the Warriors. Now, both of these teams have a really good defensive rating, both on the road for the Timberwolves and at home for the Warriors. My model thinks the Timberwolves are going to win 105-104, 209 for the total, minus 1 point spread, and a 54% chance to win this game. Now, FanDuel has the Timberwolves as 5.5 point favorites, negative 245 on the money line, and 200 for the total. But let me say something here. We all know that Steph Curry is not going to play. What my model shows us are statistics from the regular season and the playoffs. So this includes a lot of Steph Curry here. So you got to think, this is not probably going to happen with Steph Curry out, and that's true. So when we try to adjust for a star player being out, what can we do? What we can look at is a plus minus for the players, and Steph Curry's about a 4.5. That means we take 4.5 points away for the Warriors, and we get right to the 5.5 point spread here. So that means that the FanDuel spread is right on point, but I do think the Timberwolves are going to win this game. And if they win the game, I think they're going to cover the spread. Hope you enjoyed this video. The playoffs are really exciting right now. A lot of great games, a lot of upsets, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. Good luck on your best bets. Let's go.